I think it is. Yeah, it's just like you always have to put it in front of people, and like be able to get people involved. Like, don't just put the camera in the corner and then you're off over here doing stuff. So the hard part is always just like trying to figure out a nice way to like move a camera around and then still actually be able to get stuff done. So that's what's challenging. But I would really like to figure out how to get you guys way more involved with like stuff that goes on here and show a lot of like that behind the scenes stuff. Because I just went through and I prepped this car. I did a TikTok live earlier today. But there's lots of like missed opportunities here for like going live and whatnot. It's just those things always take time. So I'm trying to figure out good ways to kind of break down those barriers. But yeah, we're doing a BMW. This is pretty sick, huh? I like the color. This is a M3. We're doing carbon 20% on all the sides and rear, and then we're going to do 50 on the windshield. But yeah, I did a TikTok live on Explorer windshield, and that was a lot of fun. But I did that off of my phone, so I was carrying around my phone most of the time because it seems like that's what TikTok likes. My headphones. Oh, I went to get that. Hang on 1 second. I don't know. How would you guys feel about not a GoPro live stream and like an actual camera that we carry around? I feel like there's good and bad. It's less convenient, but if we can make it interesting, I don't know. Because I tried this whole TikTok thing. Okay, my headphones should be connected. Because I tried this whole TikTok thing with the GoPro and the computer, and it just like, we just tried it off of a phone, and people just appreciate it being on a phone way more. Static camera on a phone. So I don't know. Trying to come up with some ideas here. Because we've got a lot of places. We got TikTok, we got Facebook group, and I really like the Facebook group. But the problem with the Facebook group is that they don't seem to like live streams. They like short videos. Live streams like go to die on there. So I feel like there's a good community there, but a lot of the live gets lost on it. All right, I gotta find a roll. I need my carbon. It's somewhere here. I think I left it out of the box. There it is. It's this guy. How do you feel about BMWs? Pretty easy. I had my first BMW yesterday. It was 330i, super simple. Depends on the BMW. This one's kind of in between. It's on the easier side for most of the windows, but there's some little M-ness in like the rear quarter windows and the back glass that I'll point out. But overall, they're not crazy, and if anything, they've gotten easier with time. Doesn't mean they're simple, but they've gotten easier. For sure. But everything's all prepped on this. So I already rolled down the windows, taped it. We put dash towels. Everything's covered because I kind of just wanted to break into the whole tinting part of it and just keep things going. Have you Camry quarter glasses? Ooh. So you're gonna want to cut that straight edge first. And then, God, it's really hard to explain on this one, but it happened on, I think, yesterday's stream. No, not on the TIG one. It was on a different vehicle. But you have this back edge, and what you can do is you can line up you'll have a piece of tint that's cut, like not cut out to size, but bigger than the quarter window. You set that on the window. First thing you're going to want to do is cut this leading edge first, but you can line up the back corner of like where that piece is cut off right at the edge of where that rear trim ends. So when you cut this edge, you don't have to try and stuff it into the corner. It's already kind of cut off, and then you just trim here and you trim there, and then you'll be able to get your quarter window way easier. If you trim it exact, that's okay. You don't have to make it like uber big or anything. See, this is like that M-ness that I was talking about, like little things that kind of get in the way. It looks super cool. Just got to be careful. I like the GoPro POV experience. Yeah, I think I like it too. But I think the whole like, whoa, definitely has its audience. And for some people it's good, and for some people it's just not so good. But what I do really care a lot about is like keeping things moving. So with a fiddly camera, there's like that extra, like I have to pick it up, I have to put it down. I don't like that part. I don't like that at all. But what I was surprised was like I was doing these TikToks, or I was doing these streams, and I was also streaming them on TikTok. And the viewership is just like completely different straight off of the phone. It's like, it's not even close. On the phone, it was like, the live stream I just did earlier today was like up to like 1,000 to 1,500 people. I'm like, wait, what? Versus like maybe 20 to 30 people off of the GoPro. So I think there are some clear winners there. Yes, we are doing a M3. So that's just things that I think about. But we're really trying to brainstorm here to figure out other ways that we can probably just off of a phone. Maybe you have to just buy an extra phone, and then that'll be like the TikTok live streaming phone. I can see why some people like the phone look. Yeah, I can totally respect it. And TikTok is a very, like, the more overproduced TikTok is, it seems like the worse it does. You don't have to put a lot of effort into it. But it was fun to try out the GoPro there. But there is a clear difference between just, like, having a rough phone look, and for whatever reason, like, people appreciate that way more than the GoPro, like, by a big degree. But, like, at the end of the day, I'm really trying to show people all the details and stuff. So off of a phone, like, set up on a tripod, you just can't do that as well. Off of a GoPro, it's like you can really get in there and see what's going on. But hey, I don't know. I just can't argue with the numbers. So, been tinting now for a few months. Been practicing every day on multiple cars, my girl's car, my car, watching your videos. I'm actually tinting and selling it as a service. Heck yeah. That's how you do it, man. That's what it takes. Practice a lot on whatever cars you can get your hands on. And you'll learn a lot, and then you can immediately just get into selling it. You can learn so much, like, because so many cars are very similar. So as long as you keep, like, the same principles, right? Like, don't cut your patterns too big. Yeah, there's going to be, like, difficulty from one car to the next. Those kinds of things. Once you learn all those basic things, they're just so applicable to every car. Every car is very similar, one to the next. There's just slight little challenges between shapes and tightnesses and all that. I feel the GoPro may feel more like an ad on TikTok. That's probably true. It's like so far removed. So I want to see what my video look like though. But it's just kind of funny. Like, I don't argue with it. I have my theories. And then I try and do what I feel like works best. And with, like with TikTok, yeah, you're right. Like, as soon as you get the hint of anything being like an advertisement, I immediately skip past it. So I could see that it's just like so far removed and different and whatnot that it's just like, yeah, this is probably like too far out of what the norm is. But I wish there was something in between taking a phone and moving it around or taking a static camera. That's something I've always been, that's like an impossible problem for me to solve. Because all that is like, then you got to readjust the angles, and it's just inconvenient. You start tripping over the camera. So for a full car, it's like a lot. But it was fun on like the two front doors and the windshield. I had a good time. But I kind of wanted to keep those like nice, fun hangout things where you can ask more questions and like we're just generally more available, because there are those times at the shop. Like we have other things going on to some extent, but it's like, I don't know. It's fun to hang out with everybody. Just got my tint keg, and I feel like my jobs are coming out more clean. With your slip, it slips when you want it. It doesn't tack until you start to squeegee. Nice. Dude, that's awesome. I'm glad you're liking the tint keg. How many kickflips did you do per day 12 years ago? Okay, so I never was good at kickflipping. I was never good at like most tricks. I could basically do like a 180 shove it. I was pretty good at like just generally riding around and like flipping my board around, so I could easily do like spins and stuff. Not exactly like that's a trick, but it's just like I was really comfortable on a board. But kickflips, I was always hit or miss on kickflips. And then I had some younger friends too, and it seemed like the younger you started on a skateboard, the better you were. Have you noticed that too? Like young kids on a skateboard? What? Oh, yeah. Maybe where's my skateboard? There's a skateboard somewhere around here. Oh, it is right over there. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's right behind the ladder over there. My high school skateboard's over there. This is a nice color. I like this color a lot. But yeah, I was never great at skateboarding. I really liked it, and I skateboarded a lot. But I've never skated at a skate park. My mom would not take us to the skate park. It was too dangerous. So we were left going behind industrial buildings. and trying to jump off steps, which, you know, that's not exactly safe either. Do you heat shrink all the windows or only the back? No, I do all of them. Including these quarter windows. They're a little bit taller. So I might be able to get quarter windows off of the excess film on the back window, but we'll see. I tried skateboarding once. I fell and I got pissed and I broke the skateboard. Then how'd you keep on tinting? But yeah, it's one of those things. Like getting used to being on a skateboard. This is my high school skateboard. This wasn't my first choice for a deck, but I've got a story behind that. This is so old, but it still works. I've got orange Element trucks, Spitfire wheels that have seen better days. What are these? Orange Thunder trucks? I really liked orange. The color of the board wasn't my favorite, but there's a reason I got that board. Man, I had like wood color trucks. I was really happy. So my dad was talking to this one guy, and he claimed he had this revolutionary new way to design molds.
So that is kind of like a myth, I guess. I don't know if it's from TikTok or what, but like tint is gonna be like kind of.
I didn't want to learn.
It is what it is, and it's gonna appear, dark from the outside, and then from the inside, you'll be able to see out of it better.
But he was talking to a guy that had some sort of like supposedly some revolutionary new way to do molds of stuff, and he was trying to do it for car stuff, like car parts and whatnot. And I was like, well, my son skateboards. You could try it on a skateboard. He's like, yeah, we could make an awesome skateboard deck for sure. And like he gave him money, and the guy like just disappeared. He like did a little bit, and he did a really bad job, and then he like disappeared. And he stole my wood skateboard trucks. I was so mad. I really like those. But if you go back in my old videos, it's very much like skateboard culture. I didn't want to learn. I was gifted one for Christmas. That's fair. I still want to get a one wheel or a boosted board, but I really am not going to use it, so I haven't got one. Like, where am I going to use it? I'm not going to go home on it. I'm not really going to ride it around a park very much. So it's just going to sit most of the time. Did you just cut 2 films at the same time? Mm-hmm. Yep, that's on basically every set of door windows that I've done on video for like the past forever. You take one pattern, you flip it around, you stick it to the other one, and then you cut them both out together. And then you save a lot of time on hand cutting stuff. You really, if you're gonna hand cut, you really have to do that way on most cars if you're gonna be efficient. Otherwise, it's just gonna take you a lot longer to individually cut every door. I often forget about that for plotters. So when somebody compares like plotters to hand cutting, if they're not double cutting their doors, they are gonna save time with a plotter, for sure. What?
You Thursday the 25th available?
Is that next week? Oh,
The compass coming in, I think.
yeah, the compass is going to be at like 10 or 10:30 for about an hour, and then yeah, I could schedule something after that. Yep, that would be fine. So when you remove the film and stick two tints, so you remove the film and stick two tints together. Yeah, kind of. So it's really simple. You spray the window, you put a piece of film on that window, and then you spray the film that's on the glass, and then you unroll another piece of tint and stick it on top of that. You're not really like sticking it, but you're just setting it on top of it. But they have to be opposite of one another. So right now, liner side is facing me, tint side is facing the glass. So if I want to cut a mirrored pattern, it's just got to be flipped opposite. And then you're cutting out two patterns at the same time, and it's all mirrored. So if you work at like a dealership and you have the same truck to do over and over again, you can actually cut out like, I don't know, like 6 patterns at the same time, all hand cut. Saves a lot of time. Oh, I lost my felt card. Damn it. I wonder if did I pick it up? Did I put it down somewhere? I would really appreciate it right now. There it is. Can this film be sent to Bosnia? If you order direct from Geo, yeah. They can ship international. At least I think. I don't know. Shipping will be pretty expensive on it, though. Why do you use a dryer sheet? Dryer sheets, I can explain way better when we get to doing that. So actually remind me when we get to that. So you don't need to shrink as much on the door windows, so that's why they're still wet. So you can just wet shrink them really fast. On the back window, there's a lot more that you have to shrink. Dry shrinking is going to be one of the most efficient ways to do that, but you have to prep it just a little bit differently. So that's what's with the dryer sheets, but I'll explain why they work when we get to doing that. Gotta get a longer blade here. I'm like almost out. What? At 10? No, because the other appointment. Okay, we'll still have him set the deposit for like 11. And then if he's going to drop it off earlier, that's fine, just as long as it's during normal working hours and we're here, or he just leaves it outside with the key. Okay, so when we have to pull it in, we have to call him? Yes. If he gives us the code. Well, yeah, if he's going to drop it off before that, if he's going to do it, like you just need to know what he's going to do. Because I don't know what he's going to do. So if he's just going to leave it out back and like, hey, I can unlock it remotely and then leave the key inside of it, like, that's okay. We can do that. That's fine. I just want to know, like, basically what he's going to do. So then we're better prepared for it. Because if there's something unique like that, like, because if he drops it off after hours, like, I could potentially swing by and just pull it in the shop. But if he's going to drop it off in the morning and just leave it like that, okay. And then as long as he knows, like, hey, we're not going to get started on it until 11, like 11:30 is when we're going to start on it. So what I would do is have him leave the deposit for 11:30. That way I have it on my schedule and I know when I'm going to do it. And then as far as when he's going to drop it off, just make sure you have a pretty decent understanding of what's going on. Okay. Yep. If he's doing it Wednesday night, that's fine, and he's got a plan that, hey, when you want to pull it in, just call me. I can remote unlock it. That's good. That's a smart thing to do. I just want to know the game plan. What's the darkest windshield you do? I go as dark as 35 on the windshield. I don't recommend going any darker than that. During the daytime, you could put 5 on a windshield and you'd be totally fine. But nighttime, rainy conditions, it's when 20 and below is just like pretty dark. So it's not that like, you know, somebody that's just a nice, aware driver couldn't, like, yeah, can you drive around with it? Sure. But is it the smartest thing to do? No. So I'll only tint a windshield as dark as 35. You get plenty of a dark look. It's nice. You don't need to go full crazy. All right, so the inner seals of this is pretty straightforward. This is pretty in line with most BMW 3 Series that you see. The rear quarters are a little bit different. And then, like I said, sometimes there's just like some extra BMW M3-ness with something like this. So you just generally want to be careful. You're familiar with tinting a BMW? Yes. What's your most popular color combination? On an F-150, most people generally just do 20% to match the rear, or they'll do 20% on the front and then 20% over the rear to make the rear like limo, and then 50 on the windshield. But I've done F-150s every which way. Who's the owner of the car? I actually don't know because I didn't meet him this morning. He dropped it off. So I'll find out when they pick it up. They got here way before I did. Line that up. How long have you been tinting for? About 15 years now. It is a cozy work environment. We keep things as chill around here as we can, because I just don't like a lot of hassle and stress. What's the point? Just makes working unfun. Do you have people get pulled over with 50? 50 is like, it just depends on where you drive, where you are, and what your state laws are. 50 can be completely legal with a doctor's note. But for the most part, you're not really getting hassled for 50. You could. If you don't have a doctor's note, you get pulled over for speeding or something, and they want to give you a ticket for tint. Yeah, they absolutely could. Just know what the rules are, know what your state laws are, and, you know what the general vibes are. Why aren't you streaming on TikTok? I don't know. We're working on doing that. Earlier we did with the other one, the Explorer. Trying to figure out all that out. I wish there was an easy way to do everything, but there's not. There's always little hang-ups. Georgia? Ooh, I actually do have one shop recommendation because I only know of one shop there. But look up On Point Style. I think they're in Gainesville. Go check them out. But I don't know the state laws. They could definitely tell you. I don't know the state laws in most states other than my own. And for some of like the really bad ones, like New York and Pennsylvania are really, really strict. And that kind of sucks. Nobody likes super strict state laws. Michigan is like kind of in between. It's way more common now. They haven't done anything to really change the law, but it is like it's fine if you have a doctor's note, and so many people do it at least on their front windows to match the rear or go a little bit lighter. It's like if you blend in with traffic, that's like the big thing. So like, is this going to blend in with traffic? No, this is an attention grabber. That's the point. But if you do it on like an F-150, are you going to get pulled over for it? Probably not. What's the easiest way to get the doctor's note? Well, you got to go to the doctor and get a note. But there's no simple shortcuts for any of it. So if you don't have an actual medical reason why you need it, you're probably less likely to get one. But there's like legitimately good medical reasons. There's skin reasons, there's eye reasons. There's lots of reasons why you would want to get even a light layer of window tint. So I have a 3-gallon tint keg. I use tint slime. How much slime would you recommend? It depends on your film. I would look at the bottle. General rule with most of it is an ounce per gallon. With tint slime, I've had to use quite a bit more than that. If you find that it's really sticky, just add more. It just entirely depends on the film that you're using. I'm gonna change my blade. Like I said, I only have a little bit. What's up?
What time do you think you'll be here tomorrow? Because I just want to tell them, like, hey, make sure it would be best if you drop the truck off before, like, 3, just because I wouldn't want you to miss out on, like, meeting you and, like, having you go over film options with him.
Yeah, that would probably be good. What's the appointment for tomorrow? Do you have the website pulled up?
Yeah, it doesn't, he said he booked, but it doesn't say
Well,
I texted him for 11:30.
no, for Wednesday. What's the appointment for Wednesday?
Oh, sorry.
Because if he's going to drop off for Thursday, he's going to do that on Wednesday. So whatever the appointment is Wednesday.
Wednesday it's 10 a.m. It's the Civic.
Oh, it's a Civic? We'll probably be here till about like 3:30.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think 3 would be good.
Yeah, if he can get here before 3, that would be fine.
Okay.
But if it's going to be, yeah, after like 4:30, 5 o'clock, we're probably not going to be here anymore. But, yeah. How are you for this time of year? Good question. I don't know. I think we're pretty similar to where we were last year, maybe a little bit slower. I think the season picked up a little bit later, but just from shopping around, I totally expect it to be slower all the way around. Interest rates shot up. Things are more expensive. People don't have as much disposable income. You don't absolutely need window tint on your car. So you're just going to see general slowdowns and all of that. I mean, we had like slower car sales for a while. And right now, I feel like everything should be popping off. Try and go car shopping. And that's where you get a real good idea of what just everybody is dealing with right now. The average car is just like way more expensive than it was. So I walked into a dealership and I got like a nice trim on that Blazer in 2020 and I was paying like $500 a month. That same car now is probably in the range of like $650. And I just don't like it that much. So I think a lot of people are just going to end up waiting, or they're going to max out their budget and not spend it on fun things like window tint. But it just, like I said, it just depends. Cool. Yep, I vaguely looked. I got sad at the prices. So that's what your average people are doing. They're all getting sad at the prices, and they just don't have as much disposable income, so you're just not going to see as much business. In areas where people are generally a little bit more recession-proof, like, you know, if you're in a more expensive area, then your business, I think, is going to be less impacted. If you're in a, you know, kind of the middle of the range, I think you're still going to get business, but it's probably not going to be as busy as it was. But yeah, we held off, and then I ended up getting the Model 3 because it was the cheapest option that looked the best. I even looked at like a Mitsubishi Outlander. I was like, well, it looks kind of similar to like what the Blazer looked like, and I think I'll be able to spend less on that. Dude, they wanted like $3,000 down. Otherwise, like a grand down was gonna make that thing like $650. I was shocked. BS shortage scheme. Yeah, there's definitely some, like, a lot of companies took advantage of just price gouging, 100%. Like, things got more expensive, but the rate they got more expensive, and then like they continued to get even more expensive, and then they start posting record profits. It's like, okay. How much longer till this car is done? Oh, I don't know, probably about 3 hours from now. Unfortunately, On Point Styles is 2 hours away. They'd be worth it. I don't have any other recommendations for you. Sorry, I'm just not in that state. But it'd be worth it. Miss the days of 250 to 300. Yeah, no kidding, right? How much are you charging? So this is carbon. This is all the way around with the windshield. This is 550. Yep, everything got more expensive. Just another, yeah. Push the middle lower, keep the riches. Well, yeah, that's always the game, is make as much money as you can any way that you can. It sucks, but that's just the way everything is. I'd say there's a lot more ways that you can do that now, too. Best thing you can do is diversify your income. Don't ever rely on just one way. So while window tinting is like a great career skill and you'll make good money doing it, it's like you still want to diversify in some ways. Is carbon better than ceramic? No. Carbon is really good, and it's a good value option. The truth is, though, they're all good. Like, am I gonna look at that car and go, that looks better because it's carbon? Or am I gonna look at that car and go, that looks better because it's ceramic? No, absolutely not. The difference is how comfortable you are when you're driving it. So carbon blocks out a good amount of heat. Ceramic blocks out even more heat. So if you don't care about those things as much, then just any quality film you'd be happy with. Just get something that's not going to fade and turn purple. It's basically my strongest suggestion is don't go too cheap. What is the best darkness to have and clean look? 20 is my most popular. I think most people prefer the look of 20. It's what you see on trucks and SUVs. It's factory privacy glass. 20% on the front and rear. And then if you want your car to look like extra dark, you could do 50, or you could do 35 on the windshield. But if you don't want to draw too much attention, then do 50. When I roll up my windows, the corners tend to lift. Even with heating the glass and letting it sit, I've started rolling the windows up with a thin Bondo car. The corners tend to lift. What kind of car are you tinting? Dang it. Oh, wait. Nope, we're barely there. We got it. BMW quarters, they tall. Oh, 01 CRV. Well, that's probably your issue. I haven't tinted an oh 01 CRV in a long time, so I couldn't tell you for sure. But some cars just have the top corners. They're just like extra tight. So you can absolutely just dry them out and you'll be fine. They shouldn't peel. But you have to like really dry them out. Some corners are just extra tight at the top. Not all of them are made the same. So when you go back to like a 2001, yeah, you might have that. Now, if you go to tint something else and the same thing happens, I would say it's your process. You're just not doing something right. It's not really laying flat, or you have maybe too much soap in your bottle, and it's just like not drying out because you have so much soap and you need to let it sit longer, or you need to lighten up on your soap. Those are like the only things. Yeah, and when we say like heat the corners too, like you gotta get them pretty toasty warm, and you gotta do it for a little bit. So you wanna heat those areas up till the corners are pretty warm, so like they hurt to touch on the inside. If you heat them too much, you'll just bubble the film. So keep your hand on the inside, throw some heat on it, and then just keep like the back of your knuckles here. Like just put them here. So if I were to heating that corner, I'm putting some heat, I'm taking the heat away, I'm holding my hands here, I'm gonna heat it some more, take it away, and I'm just gonna use my fingers as a little gauge. And when it gets to the point where it's just a little, like it just starts to hurt, keep it at that temperature range, and they'll dry out. They'll dry out very quick. It's easy to do in a really concentrated spot like that. Use a torch. I think a torch might be a little much. I think it's his first car, so I wouldn't suggest using a torch until later on. Ultima hood open? Mm-hmm. Because it's a show car. Look at that thing. Mm-mm. Do you have an Ultima? Don't you have an Ultima? Show it off in your shop. That's a looker right there. Gonna tint my first non-friend's car. Oh, that makes sense. There we go. This is gonna be a little tricky. Why is it posting my comments twice? I have no idea. Burner, I actually have no idea. I don't see them more than once. So maybe it's just on your phone. But yeah, I don't see them more than once, so you're good. This is like a goofy. Come on, 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 come on. M3. Yeah, this was kind of goofy. So this area right here, the plastic just presses really hard against the glass. And, whew, it hurt. But I'm able to like grab it here and kind of just keep it flexed back so then you can tuck it in, because this is definitely like, I don't want to say like quality assurance right here, but it's a little snug right against the glass there. Don't usually see that. Do you think you need to retint after a couple of years? No, not with a good film. With a good film, you tint it once and be done. Yeah, that would suck. That would suck if film didn't last any more than like a year or two and you had to redo the whole thing. No, way less people would get their cars tinted. That's what my first thought was, like New York and Pennsylvania, you can't tint darker than like 70, so like you'd stand out a lot, but people still do it. There's ways around it, I guess. But yeah, tint lasts longer, definitely. Da, 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 da. Cool. Unless you have a doctor note. Yeah, no kidding. All right. Sweet. Doors on one side are done. That looks good. Very happy. Let's keep going. We got a lot of work to do. We got a whole nother side. He is doing the windshield. Yep, we're doing full windshield in 50. I'm curious if they did the same thing with this quarter window, because my fingers hurt now. Oh, you fuckers. I think they did it worse. Right here. Oh, no, I think I can do the same thing. Just keep it flexed back. Okay. Yikes. Not fun. Do the quarter first. I gotta let my fingers recover from the other side. Is this car gonna take you a lot longer than most cars? No. No, not really. But I didn't charge any different for something like this either. Still standard pricing on this. There's just generally things to be careful of and pay attention to, but an M series is not any more difficult than your average, like a little bit. But is it going to take a lot longer to do? No. So whether or not you have an M3 or you have a Malibu, you get the same price on both. Can we help Jack think of a new username?
No more comments.
What is your username?
It's horrible. It's very anonymous. It's just, my real name, but.
Oh, with an X.
I think it's like 313 Jack. Mr. Pack and Orders, I think.
Mr. Pack in the orders.
I don't know. What do you think? All right.
Yeah, 313 Jack. There you go. Yeah, you can do spaces too. You don't even have to keep it like with a dot or anything, but help Jack think of a username. The box tint stud. So this channel used to be called Tint Stuff, and it would auto-correct a lot of the time to tiny stuff. I felt pretty insulted. Why does people keep asking how much longer for the car? It'll be done when it's done, but probably a couple hours. We take time. Tiny stuffer. I think we're getting to some weird territory there. You guys have terrible username suggestions. Every once in a while, a chat has a good idea. For the most part, I'm sorry, it's terrible. Yeah. Have you seen my username? Can't help. We expect too much.
Can't do a poll in the comments, can you?
You can. Are you trying to decide between more than one?
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, what do you got?
Well, I got 313 Jack,
Uh-huh.
and then I guess the other finals one would be Mr. Pack and Order. So, what do you guys think? Comment down below.
I'll tell you right now, don't do Mr. Packin' Orders.
Why can't it do like limiting?
It's yeah, it's pretty
Kind of like it. Mr. What's up, guys? It's Mr. Pack and Order from behind the desk.
I mean, it is pretty self-explanatory. Who is that guy? Oh, he's the guy behind the desk. I'd still do 313. Just do like 313 Jack or something like that. I think you can change it at any time too, so.
Yeah, that's good. Sounds good.
Mr. Packin' Orders. Who's that guy? It's Mr. Packin' Orders. If you got a question, just ask Mr. Packin' Orders. Used to be a children's toy called Mr. Bucket. It's got like similar vibes to that. Sell patterns online? Yeah, you can definitely sell patterns online. There's a lot of competition there, but you can definitely do it. I don't do it, but you can do it. Da, 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 da. Come on. Come on. You should sell them online and sign it. No. Dude, I don't like doing kits. They're too much hassle. There's too many options. It's just... Ugh. There's just way too much information that you have to collect. And even then, sometimes there can be small differences from one vehicle to the next. So you might ship out a kit, and it's just like, oh, that's when they changed the model. And you just send them out the bad kit. And you got to wait on new kit. I just don't want to deal with it. There's other people that deal with it. That's fine. Yep, my pattern didn't fit. Generally, like I used to do it for a while. It's kind of how I like found out all of that stuff. And most people that wanted kits didn't want them for like straightforward new cars. It was always like oddball shit. I've got like an 86 truck that I want to tint. And it's like, yep, can't really help you with that one. So it was very few like newer, straightforward cars. Seems like most of those people just take them to get tinted or they tint them themselves. But I would, yep, no thanks. It's not that everybody was that way. It's that a lot of them were that way. And then you have to, you know, how many different ways do they make just the same truck? They have it with a 3-piece slider. They have it with an extended cab. They have it with a single cab. Just too many different ways. Yeah, an 89 Chevy Nova. Do you remove the interior weather seal at the bottom of the window before you tint? No. Devin doesn't bottom load, but you can. Who's Devin? No, all the seals are staying in. I do that whenever possible, which is most things. Most things just stay as is. Me. Oh, okay. What's up? Everybody from the 313. Yep. Bruh. I'm on 18 Mile. Didn't you know? No, I don't have set days that I stream. I stream when I can. I would like to do it more. It's just challenging. Today and yesterday were like good days to do it though, because this car was dropped off at like 6 in the morning before I was even here. And then he asked if I was going to stream it too, so like that's an open invitation to stream it. Does this have a sunroof? No, no sunroof on this one. So no seal was removed at the bottom. That makes this part a little more challenging to do, but I didn't have to disassemble his car. So there's that. It's just preference. What percent? We're doing 20%. 20% carbon. C2. is looking very good. Look, we even have a tri-edge that matches the paint color. Kind of. Not quite. Not exactly. We're doing 50 on the windshield once we finish up the rear. Three, two, one. You could tint this car in any shade and it'd still look nice. It's just preference. I think 20 is always the best balance. 20% is always the best balance between the two. If you want something that looks good, and you want some privacy, but you want it to be a little bit more practical, yeah, I go 20% all day, every day. Take that off. I'm going to remove this and I'll redo it. I had 20% all the way around, including the windshield. People kept looking in. Was it like out of curiosity? Wow, that's so dark. Let me try and look in. Because that's the opposite. That's the opposite of what I would have thought happened. I want more privacy. Let me tint it dark. Okay, now people are going to try and take it as a challenge. I'm going to look in that car. That's hilarious. If you just left it clear, nobody would care. I want to try Tint Depot 2%. Yeah, it's really good. The coloring on it's super nice too. It's like, this is genuinely a really, so it's hard to go super dark and still maintain a nice like neutral color. This is that 2%. Is your tint for sale? You can buy GeoShield film, 313tint.com. I might need 5 all the way around. It's all good. I still do 5. I never try and sway people towards any shades. I try and figure out what they're thinking, and then I can help make a recommendation. But really, I like to show them my own car too as I talk about it, because that really helps clear things up really fast. Because pictures and numbers just make things kind of complicated. But when you see it on a car, so if I were to do 35 on the front doors of an F-150, and I did nothing else, that would be what I would consider pretty light on the front doors. If I did 35 on the front doors and 50% on the windshield, that would look kind of a nice in between. But being able to see 20, which is what most people do, being able to see that 20 versus 35 comparison in person, I think is really, really helpful. And then for 5%, it's a very easy explanation. It's like this 20, it looks like this glossy black. It's just, now you can't see in it anymore. And that's 5. Five on a windshield. Yeah, a little bit. 5% looks the best. I don't know. It just depends on what you're looking for. There's some people that really appreciate an M3. I like them. I think they look great. But I'm not looking to buy an M series. I got an Explorer. So I wouldn't want to tint that thing limo. Maybe like the very, very back, but it just depends. But if you're younger, generally you're going to want to go a little darker. The older you get, the more practical you get. Not all the time, but a lot of the time. But I think this was a really good, I think 50 is a good call on this. I just would feel way more comfortable driving around with 50 on the windshield on this. I liked, and that's coming from a guy that really liked 35 on a windshield. Can you shrink over stickers or tint over them? If there's anything on the glass, you want to remove it. But if there's like a lettering on the back window, you can definitely shrink over it, and the tint's not going to be damaged, and you can deal with it. If it was big old embossed bling bling stickers, or like if you, for whatever reason, took a BMW badge and stuck it to the back window, you're going to have to remove that. But like thin sticker lettering is fine. You could tint over it, or you could shrink over it, but you wouldn't want to necessarily laminate that in the window, so I wouldn't suggest tinting over it. Tint over defrosters? Yes, for sure. Every car, almost every car has defroster lines. And yeah, we tint right over them. And it's fine. Yeah, if you got if you got to scrape over somebody's sticker, you're not going to be able to put it back. That sticker is ruined. Some people like their stickers. So, walk out, check out the car before you pull it in to tint it, and then you'll know all that stuff ahead of time. And then if I needed to remove it, I would like have a conversation with a customer. Like, hey, I know you probably love these little stickers here, but I'm sorry, I gotta remove them. They're usually okay. All the Instagram tags. Yeah, that's, I had to put a set on for somebody not too long ago. I could see people, the occasional person using that. One thing that really surprised me was we had a guy bringing a truck, and he had an Instagram on the truck. Or it might have been, wait, no, we had a conversation. Did we? I forget. I don't remember if I tinted it or if it was somebody we were talking to that had a car. But he made an Instagram for his truck, and he was able to sell that truck at a premium because it had an Instagram following. That was cool. I didn't know that was a thing, but that's way cool. I should do that with my Model 3. It's so unique. No other Model 3s look like it. GeoShield wrap. I was trying to think of a custom license plate, but I couldn't think of anything that I wasn't going to cringe at. I did like some of the early ones, they would make like electricity jokes, and so it was like LOL watt. I thought that was kind of funny. My favorite thing was so far is I just wanted to say this is cheap, but I don't know how to put that in a license plate. I could maybe get 313 tint, but I don't think anybody will care other than me. Maybe that's kind of the point. But I saw a video where a guy puts the film inside the gasket part of the front window so that he doesn't have to use a special tool on a door panel. What? Wait. So does he like not tuck it into the seal? He just like lets it drop right in here? That'd be like the ultimate customer troll. Like, yeah, thanks for coming in. Don't roll your windows down for a week. And then immediately after that week, they roll them down, and then it's hooked, right? So it would do nothing but peel. It's not a good way to stay in business. Oh, no, don't do that. Oh, wait, I think I get it. He rolls it and tints it. So wait, does he take... Okay, I'm trying to understand this, but I just don't yet. I've seen some people, they'll stuff these seals down into the seal. You're probably right. He's probably talking about a speed loader. Or the dumb troll video. God, there's just too many. Okay, so there is the dumb troll video, and I like had my own video of that too, where you tint the window, you peel it back, you spray it, and then you start filming, and you just roll the window down, roll it back up, and it's tinted. You got to think how it was even lined up in the first place. Allergies, fun. But you either remove the seals and tint it, hang on. Thank you. I have super fun spring allergies that just decide to like kick up from time to time. So I'm dealing with that right now. M3 allergies, that's what it is. See, that's why I like you guys. It's not spring allergies. It's just I'm allergic to this car. Okay, so why do we put down a dryer sheet if that guy's still here? So there's a waxy layer in between the film and the glass. So if I wiggle the film, you can see how this film shifting and moving. It's basically floating above the surface right now. As soon as I put some pressure, that sticks. So it's not sticking until I want it to, and that's why dry shrinking this way works really, really well, because you're allowing the film space for it to shrink together. It's not sticking to anything until you need it to smooth out, and then it's not that you're really stretching the film over the glass, but you're organizing the film and like smoothing it out and seeing what is going to bunch up next. So we'll go through, we'll shrink this. So like all this film here, I want it to, like it's rippled and kind of bunched up. So this is kind of like pushing it forward, kicking it out, smoothing it down, and then I'm going to see where it bunches up next, and I'm going to shrink that area. So that's why dryer sheets, soap, dry shrink prep, that's why you want to use any one of those things. You can wet shrink it, just don't confuse yourself. If you're gonna wet shrink, don't shrink like I'm shrinking right now. Go watch a wet shrinking video and see how people do that. I see people like loosely trying a lot of different things, and you never really get comfortable with one method, and then you just kind of suck at everything. So you're more than welcome to see what's out there. Just pick something and kind of stick with it for a little bit, because they're all like, there's no tricks with wet shrinking. It's still a challenge to wet shrink a window. On truck windows, okay, so truck windows are a lot simpler. They're not very big. What I would suggest is if you can get to the back of the window without like a tonneau cover and stuff in the way, then you want to wet it, squeegee it in the center, separate, like bunch all of the film up so its fingers are facing the bottom, the fingers are facing the top. And then you could wet shrink that just like you wet shrink a door window. It's a truck window, that's fine. But on something bigger, you gotta have a different process for it. Cool. That shrunk. Let's cut it out. See, my allergies, like, they flare up, and then they, like, magically kind of, like, go away or settle down. It drives me crazy. We didn't even open up the door. Gonna send you a 68 Corvette backlash for me to tint? Yeah, no thanks. If I did it, I wouldn't do it live, that's for sure. I've done a 60s vet. I took off the, it had T-tops on it. Removed those, and it didn't go as, it wasn't as difficult as what I thought it would be, but I wouldn't say it was easy. It shrunk easier than I thought, and it installed a little bit easier.
Well, to be honest, I'm not gonna make that call, but I'd be more interested in actually talking to you about like who you work for in these sales calls right now. But I don't think Matt's gonna want to talk to you about Scorpion film. Maybe. You can hit him up on YouTube right now. He's live.
What is it, a Scorpion rep?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What is his YouTube channel? It's just Tint Studio. But yeah, go right now if you want to chat. How's that? So do you work for Scorpion or? Are you working remotely or how's that work? Okay, alright, that's interesting. Okay, well, cool. Alright, well, yeah, I don't know how I can help you, but yeah, no problem. Okay, you too.
Love that light. This is a nice light. This was the $30 Braun light from Harbor Freight. I've had it for like easily like 3 years now. So that was a Scorpion rep?
Yeah.
Yeah, they sent out film a while ago and I still haven't gotten to it. It was funny, you just said you didn't think I'd want to talk to them about their film.
Yeah, is that accurate or like, or maybe not accurate?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm supposed to say? I really don't know what I was supposed to, yeah, I don't know how I should have handled that one.
I mean, that was funny. I got a good laugh out of it. Yeah, I really don't want to talk to them about their film. Yeah, that's what's always funny to me is like they're genuinely like, I'm not kidding, they're genuinely like that disconnected. Sales reps don't know largely what's going on.
Yeah, so they don't probably know anything about film or tint or.
No, they're just sales rep. I mean, they know what they're told from the company, and maybe they've worked with some other companies, but they're largely, most reps are not film installers. And most of them are just like sales guys.
Yeah, he had a clear script he was reading off on a piece of paper.
Yep. Yep. So his job is just, here are shops, call these shops, convince them to buy our film. This is what's good about it. And then some people are like, well, okay, I guess send me a pricing sheet and I'll look at your film. It works. Yep. Yep, it's just cold, brute sales. Some get paid to drive around from shop to shop, too. I think that stopped a lot more with COVID. And then companies realized, like, hey, that's kind of expensive. Yeah, because they gotta pay for like their travel and they gotta pay for like hotel stays and all that shit. And it's like, bro, why don't you just start a YouTube channel? Because they just don't get it. Yeah, film companies are like 5 years behind of everything. Like most of them, not all of them, but whatever was current 5 years ago, that's where they're like starting to catch up. Like, oh hey, have you seen like this Instagram thing? Maybe we should do Instagram and have a social media presence. You guys know what I'm talking about? There's a couple. I'm trying to think of how many film reps actually used film. So our Lumar rep, he was a paint protection film installer and he was a window tinter. He was awesome. I had a lot of respect for him. And then they hired another guy and he was just a sales guy and he was not helpful. He was a nice guy, but he was not helpful. So we tried calling him from time to time with like issues, and he's like, I don't know. It's like, give me my old rep. He had answers. Are those easier side? I just did a 22 Denali in an hour. You can definitely do it in 2 to 3. What car? Might just do a sun strip. Don't want him getting pulled over. Who? Yeah, we're doing a 50% on this. Just watch 2 ads for Matt before it let me watch the stream. What does that mean? What ads? I'm not paying for ads. Oh. You're gonna tint your dad's windshield? Don't do that to your dad. Not unless he wants it. If you do it for practice, and you don't want him to get pulled over, then pull the tint off after you do it. Just do it for practice, pull it back off. But if you want something that'll stay on there that you'll probably like, do 50. 50 would be a great bet. Unskippable ads. Oh, okay, but not like, I thought, sorry, I'm probably thinking too hard right now. Yeah, I turn on ads, but I don't turn on like my channel ads, if that makes sense. At one point, there was like somebody that was like advertising my channel on other channels, including my own. It was really weird. You need YouTube Premium? 100%. Oh, I don't know how you guys watch YouTube without Premium. Holy shit. YouTube is terrible. It's gotta be, but man, it's terrible. Commercials in general, like they're all terrible. YouTube is genuinely really good if you pay for Premium. It just, your time is money. Don't spend it watching ads. From time to time, people ask me, have I seen this ad or that ad? I don't see ads anymore. Take a bathroom break when an ad... I probably watch way too much YouTube then, because I'm skipping through like lots of videos. I don't have that many bathroom breaks in me. But no, Premium is awesome, and you can share it with people. So like 5 of you guys can get together, and then you can share it with each other and then try and divvy that up any way that you can. Trying to watch NBA highlights is probably terrible watching it on TV and on YouTube. Yeah, I just can't get that time back. But I'll tell you, YouTube is like a grossly different. I could show you. Do you guys want to see what YouTube Premium is like? It's amazing. You click on a video, and guess what? It just plays. Okay. Where's my phone? There's my phone. I'll show you YouTube Premium. Okay, watch this. Click on my home feed. Marquez, click on it. It plays. Click on this. It plays. Click on this. It plays. No ads. You don't have ads taking up your screen. You don't have things playing. You can just scroll, click on the next thing. It plays. No ads. It's amazing. How much is premium? I think they raised the price. That's the downside to it. I would still pay more than I'm paying now for it. But I share it with my wife. We have my son account on it too, because then he doesn't know how to skip ads. That's probably like the cruelest thing. On kids stuff, they still have ads. So then he's watching something, he's having a great time, and then 5 minutes later, an ad pops up. And then he doesn't know how to skip it. So then he just gets upset and goes elsewhere. So here's the thing. People complain that they hate ads, and yeah, I hate them too. They're terrible, but unless you actually throw money at YouTube, they're gonna get worse. Actually, they still will get worse, and you'll throw money at YouTube, but the cruel thing is you don't actually have anywhere else to go other than some TikTok, some Facebook, and then you'll be back on YouTube. So that's why I say, if you spend a significant amount of time on YouTube, dude, it's worth paying for it. You just save lots of time and you avoid ads. I want everything to be free, but they have to pay for the platform. That's just how it is. So the way that they do that is just the easiest way possible. They make it free, and then they stuff ads down your throat. There's no other in between. I mean, at least, what I'll say about it, though, is at least they're, ad-free once you pay for premium. If they do that Hulu shit where you're paying for it, and then they still stuff ads down your throat, then fuck that. That's not good. I even have to pay for Facebook Verified now. That's weird. But I do social media things, so I kind of have to. I don't really have a choice. My niece was watching a video and 5-minute ad popped up. Okay, what I still don't understand is there was this giant issue with showing ads to kids, and then the government cracked down on YouTube, and they're like, oh shoot, we can't do ads on kids videos anymore. But they still have ads on kids videos? So I don't really get how that works. I thought they had to disable them completely, outright. Because, also, they're hugely predatory, and kids' channels were making, millions of dollars off of kids' ads. I don't know. How is the Tesla? Tesla's great. It's just a little golf cart. It just scoots me around. I still have not gotten my garage wired up. I am like 100% on the mobile charger. I didn't charge it overnight the other day. I like, oh dang, it's at like 70%. Plugged it in, it's charged by morning. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I guess I don't need to. I feel like I should, but I actually don't need anything but the mobile charger with the way that I drive it. I just don't go that far. Okay. Speaker, yeah, a little bit on everything. Little drips. They get wiped off or covered. I do what I can. Because the problem is you either create barriers and screw up your work, or you leave them a little over, and then you only do them one time, and everything's fine. There you get a bulldozer. Do you have fiber? I do now, yes. I had Comcast. It was horribly inconsistent. It was great on download speed. Upload speed for streaming was horribly inconsistent. So I called, they're called Wow Internet, and they actually were able to get it approved over here because they didn't have it run to the building, but there was construction going on out by the road, and because that was going on, they were able to swing getting a fiber line run to the building, so I got really lucky. Now I don't have internet problems. So much better. It's more expensive, though. It's like, I got like a good deal. I did a little back and forth with them because they're like, yeah, it's going to be, if you want like 1,000 down and 1,000 up, it's going to be about $1,000 a month. And I'm like, I mean, I need it, but I just can't swing that one, unfortunately. And they're like, okay, hang on, let me see what I can do. And they're like, well, since it's the end of the month, I got it for $350. It's 1,000 down, and it's $250 up, which I was fine at 40 up for live streaming. But the problem was like it was so inconsistent. Some days it was fine, and then some days it would fluctuate. So we'd be in the middle of a stream, and then the whole thing would buffer. And it depended on the weather. So Comcast gave me a lot of excuses. They tried to do what they could with the building, but they couldn't actually fix it. And they're like, yep, we'd probably have to just update the entire system, and you're not worth it. So that's how it goes. This competition. I found another company that could take care of my problem. But 1,000 down, and like $250 up, something like that. I pay $95 a month. So at home we're like $55 right now for fiber, but business versus home are wildly different. They try to say it's actually like better internet, but it's not. It's just they don't have as many people that they can sell in a commercial building versus selling at home. So when they can get an entire neighborhood, then they can give you like cheaper pricing. So I'm like $350 a month for fiber internet here. But that's unfortunately the cold hard truth of it. It sucks. With my other internet, I was like $250 a month. Just everything for business, just expect it to be tripled. Any fibers on the tint? No, it looks good. Turned out nice. Good stuff. See, and that's why I don't want to put too many things in the way. Just get it done right like the first time. And then we all good. I'm dropping stuff. Yeah, a little taillight tint, that would look cool. Come on, headset. There we go. I gotta adjust this. Then we got the windshield. How can I work on my contamination control? Contamination control. Practice. Hang on. This thing is driving me nuts. God, I hate this headset right now. This is just like all the in and out, man. I gotta do something about this because it is just not. It has not been cooperating lately. It's probably just older and gotten loose. That's probably it. So let's try tightening that up and seeing if that helps. Get a body cam. They're not as good. They work, but it depends on what you're trying to film. So like on a car, it kind of makes sense. But when I'm sitting down, all of a sudden like it's too low. So the head one has been way better. I just like tightened it way up. I use carbon plus ceramic, and whenever I use my regular slip solution, it looks super blotchy and milky. It goes away. But I just want to ask you if you've seen it too. What's your regular slip solution? What's your regular slip solution? No, the chest one's not gonna work. Does your head get tired? No. It's okay. Let me see. Baby shampoo or Joy? Okay, I was just curious. So I don't use a lot of Carbon Plus, but what I could tell you is films used to be that way a lot. I don't see that with C2 or any of their other lines, so that's the only thing. Like, I don't know why it would look a little milky, but that used to be like a normal thing. When I was doing like Lumar, when I was tinting with ASWF, it was very normal to see like a light milky haze. The glue would like fog up just a little bit, and then it dries out really quickly. And that was like, that became the norm to tell customers, like, it's gonna look a little hazy, it's gonna look a little blistery for just a short amount of time, but it's gonna clear up. But with modern glues, you don't see that anymore. So I don't use Carbon Plus, but I haven't noticed it with it either. Okay, so we got. Oh wait, this is. Sorry. Not today. I gotta grab the other one. Yep, I've definitely seen it before. It's not an unusual thing. It's just not as common as it used to be. But I haven't seen it on Carbon Plus, though, so. But I don't use Carbon Plus. So I don't know. But it's, like, the thing is, it's supposed to use the same adhesives as, like, C2, which is what we're using now. The same thing for Apex. Like, they all have, like, the same adhesives. So, I don't know. I have some slight mini creases in my film. Will they go away when shrinking the film? If you can shrink over the spots, you'll lighten them up. Chances are they're not going to completely go away, though. So, probably not. What's up?
There's here. There's no Joe.
Who's here?
The M3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, just the windshield's the last thing, so I'll probably have it wrapped up in the next, like, half hour, 45 minutes. Ceramic has a higher UV block. No, they're all like 99. Okay, so the difference is really heat. What you might be thinking about is IR, but that has to do with heat. So, good films, yeah, they're not going to bubble, fade, peel. You're going to have a company that backs up the film. So if you have any issues, that's on like the company. But if it fades and turns purple and bubbles and stuff, yeah, that's all cheap films. Why not use a shorter roll? Because I only have 40s in carbon, so if I had 36, I would. But I have 40s. So 40s it is. They used to mainly have 40s and 20s in C2, but now I think they've got 36s across the board, 36s and 24s. And it's one of those things where I don't have to order that many rolls at a time. So I just have kept on like a 40-inch system forever now, and it just like keeps going. What do you say? What do you say to a customer when they say, "Can you really feel a difference between carbon and ceramic? Is it that much of a difference? Do you have a heat box?" Because it sounds like you don't have a heat box. I never have them take my word for it. I show them. So I like to explain real quick. These are the main differences between them. They're all high quality films. And then I take them over to the heat box because you cannot explain. No, I don't. Exactly. See? So how can you sell what you're not even really sure of? So that you have to get a heat box. It's like the number one tool that you can get just to help explain the differences. So it's a great sales tool, but really, like, it is that simple. It's like, does it really? We're looking at a spec sheet. Am I going to notice it in my day-to-day? No, here, let me show you what the actual differences are. Yeah, big difference. I'm going to buy one now. Hopefully my ceramic sales go up. Yeah, 100%. So a couple ways that you can tint that box too. Right now I've got 20% on each one of the slides. On the 4-panel box, it's really nice to leave one clear or tint one in like a 70%. And then you can show like basically the differences between clear glass and dyed, or hey, this is just a baseline with tint, and then I keep everything the same. So you can feel the difference from 20% dyed real quickly to 20% carbon, and then 20% ceramic. But ceramic is really nice in a 70% too, because it's very like, oh, I don't need to go dark to block out more heat. I just need to put ceramic on my car. But yeah, no joke there. It's the number one tool that if you're trying to sell something more than just a tint job, get a heat box. Have 2 cars tinted, 1 carbon and 1 ceramic? No, just do the heat box. No, because like even with the cars sitting outside, their cars are metal boxes. They'll still get hot. So what it does is it's a heat barrier between you and the sun. So when you get in your car, you get the air moving, you're driving around, that's where you're gonna feel the biggest difference. We're using C2 carbon right now. Would you recommend a BTU meter? Yeah, get both. Reason being is it's nice to put numbers on it in person along with what they feel. So you're gonna get the most dramatic effect going to a ceramic. But that being said, you start flipping it back and forth and like, hey, what does it really block out? You can feel the difference, but you can also see the difference in the numbers. So I like to set it at like a nice baseline, so typically like 300, just so it's a nice even round number. The number's really like arbitrary. It just means that this meter can feel this much heat away from where the glass is right now. So when I put a different film in between, there's just not as much heat reaching that meter anymore. So same thing with your hand. You put your hand in front of there, and you can feel that heat coming off of it. But when you combine both with like what you feel and an actual number, I find that to be the best. I did notice ceramic versus carbon. Yeah, when you're driving around one to the other, so like there's a lot of small variables from day to day. So if it's a cloudy, cool day, you're not going to feel a difference between one or the other. They're just going to both be nice tinted cars. The only difference is when the sun is out, and it can be a cold day, it can be a hot day. And in the wintertime, you still warm your car up. And when you're sitting in traffic, yeah, like you don't notice it quite as much, but like this is where I wish it was a little bit easier to explain. But I can take a lot of my customers' testimonies from it. The people that come in here and they get their front doors tinted, they will often come back and then get the full windshield tinted if they weren't set on doing a windshield that day. Because there were those times that like you start thinking about it too much. Does it really make that much of a difference? And then we would just see customer after customer, like, yeah, I got ceramic on my last car. I'm 100% doing it on this car. And it's like, oh, it made that much of a difference. They're like, yeah, it was nice. It's like, cool. I'm glad to hear that. Both have an AC. I can't feel much of a difference. The biggest difference happens on the front windshield big time. Biggest window, most amount of sun coming in through that. The glass that you have, it varies from car to car. It will naturally block out some of the heat. And a lot of car glass will block out like some UV too. It really just depends on the glass. But like, I mean, you see people not get sunburned sitting in traffic. So like there's already things in place, but it's actually like a significant difference doing an additional layer of carbon or an additional layer of ceramic. One is 2000, one is a 23, one is a 98, yep. So the newer one's gonna be a little bit nicer. And it just depends on car to car. So like my Model 3 outside, the roof has ceramic in it. The windshield does not. The doors do not. So when it was nice spending 3 hours driving that home. Because then you could really like take time, like you're going down a freeway, you can sit there with like the sun coming in through the windshield, and you kind of round a corner and it's coming in through like the side windows, and you're really like just sitting there and doing a good comparison between the roof. And now that I have ceramic on it, it's all nice and even again. So my wife is like one of the best examples for this. If as soon as we got the Explorer, she like immediately recognizes if we have it tinted or not as far as like ceramic goes. It's just like, oh, you need to put ceramic back on this car. I'm like, I know, but I'm glad you noticed that too. How hot is your heat gun? As hot as it gets. Just turn it up. And this is a very simple heat gun. It's got low and it's got high. Just every heat gun I always turn up all the way. Yeah, I had to drive it all the way from like, what, Cleveland? All the way home. That was the closest Tesla lease pickup place. So I had a good drive with it. So like, and it's interesting, like as an owner of one, would I tint the roof? Probably not. We'll see when it gets like really hot outside, but day to day, no, I don't feel like I need to. It's already tinted 2%, and there's a ceramic layer there. It does a really nice job overall. I can feel the heat radiating off of the glass. So if anything, I would maybe put like a shade up there. Matt GPT, turn off the camera, rev the car real quick. You enjoy Cleveland? I didn't spend any time there. We got there, picked up the car, and then I like within, I don't know, an hour after, like, you know, go through, just pick up the car, sign some papers, get used to the car a little bit, and then drive off. I was on the freeway back. I need to do something about my razor blades. I keep like throwing them out. Have you done the back glass yet? No, not yet. I'm tinting everybody else's cars now. So busier lately, so I just don't have as much time. I've got appointments every day this week. I haven't been able to do short videos. It's just, I would love to be able to do something else, but whenever I get a break, it's not much of one right now. I should have just ended today at 2 doors and a windshield. That would have been a nice day. But I gotta get ready for like a flat glass conference, and I don't know. They just called yesterday and like, so what are you gonna do for it? I'm like, I don't know. I still have to get around to looking at it. How do you feel about the shattering issue with Model 3 back glasses? It was on the original ones, and it doesn't happen anymore. They would crack. Wow, I missed both of them. The early Model 3s, like, I mean, they're pushing some crazy design. Big old back window. So car flexes, back window cracks. And it took a little time for that to happen. But as far as I know now, I don't see that issue anymore. So also they've changed the style of the defroster lines. So I think the whole thing is just better made than the original ones. One day the whole roof will be glass. Yeah, no kidding. I'm surprised how much glass is on that car, but after living with one, I always wondered if people would want the roofs tinted. I don't think that you have. I don't think you have to. I think if anything, it needs like a light pole shade over that glass, because I can't believe that they don't have one, but yeah, like that whole company is going through like a ton of growing pains, and they're trying to catch up with everybody really fast. Go look up synthetic clay bars. Use a clay bar over the defroster lines. That'll help. That, or like tri-edge scrub pads. Those are really nice too. is a good one. Use this guy. There we go. Yeah, cleaning defrosters for the most part, like there isn't much magic that you have to do to them at all. You can wipe your hand over them and you get a nice result. But if you take a clay bar and you can scrub the defroster lines, you'll pull some residue and some dirt out of in between the lines. So it's a nice little like extra thingy that you can do. So that's all prepped. Yeah, I'm really glad that I had all this prep before I went live. Makes the whole thing a little bit more straightforward. Take the time to prep it all and then go around it. Do you wash the car after tinting? No. No, and I have a good reason other than like I don't want to. And that's, people can be really weird about washing their cars, especially when they're like a more expensive car and they take care of them like a certain way. Like the way to wash a car before was literally like one bucket and just like spray it, wipe it down. And now you have like super obsessive multi-buckets and there's special soaps and stuff. So it's like that's not going to be a lot of people, but that is going to come up from time to time. So it's a real quick way to get blamed for a problem with their paint. And I don't want to get blamed for messing up their paint. I don't touch their paint. I do the glass, and then that's it. But if I were like a detail shop, and I specialized in like coatings and stuff, then I would have like the tools to like, you know, if there was something small that like somebody had a question about, you have everything on hand to like fix those situations. Like, hey, we're like a professional detail shop. We do this for a living. We're very careful. We'll take care of your. It's like, because you never know when you're just going to get that one situation. So I do everything I can to avoid it. But they're more than welcome to wash their car immediately after, go through a car wash, however they do it. Yeah, I would expect so. I wouldn't think Tint Tool would be the first thing that pops up. Probably a good thing. So if somebody has a stroke, they can actually find help. All right, so we roll this whole thing up. Now we gotta peel it. Got it. Whoa. on. I'm in an awkward spot right now. There we go. Nice board shorts. They're so comfy. Mirrors. So fun. All right, let me readjust here. These seats are definitely like scooted back. It's just hard to get up while holding all that. But they give me a lot of clearance at the bottom, so that helped. A mirror like this, I mean, what I would do is I would separate this, and then I would look at the hardware and go from there, or I'd look up a video and see what it would be like to remove these ones. It's not that it probably couldn't be removed. It's kind of how I feel about the Rams, though. It's like, I want to see how it's done before I try and remove it. But they give me a fair amount of space to work around it. So it's a little tricky, but I think it's just a little bit more risky, especially on like an M series. Sometimes they don't put just regular glass. So I left it in. I think it's smarter. I will take a small amount of inconvenience over potential damage any day of the week. Super chat. Daniel Reyna, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the 10. How does it feel to be a world-renowned master tinter? I think the bar for that is pretty low. I think world-renowned window tinter is in a similar category to when a restaurant calls itself famous. There's a like barbecue place around here called Famous Dave's. They have like 2 or 3 locations. It's like, how famous are they really? Or like when a place says that they have world's famous chicken. It's like, bruh, I don't think so. So I feel like that. Famous Dave's isn't good? I think it's pretty decent. So is it the best barbecue? No, but is it quick and easy and like still pretty? Yeah, like it's. Are there better barbecue places? Yes, but when you want to feed like when my family gets together and we want to do barbecue and we don't want to cook it, it's like just get a platter from that place. There you go, platter dinner. Yep. So we just get a whole assortment of stuff. Kind of like a Chinese food restaurant. It's like you just get a whole assortment of stuff, and then you're not really disappointed with anything. It's just like, oh yeah, this is great. I'm hungry. But they do have a couple different spots. I don't know how many locations they really have. I know like in Michigan they have like 3 or 4 spots. Longhorn. See, I haven't been there. I know they've been around forever. There's some of those other places that I just haven't been to. I'm trying to think of who else. Ooh, Mission. Mission makes good barbecue. Michigan's like kind of, I'd say, a big challenger to like the Famous Dave's. I'd have Mission over Famous Dave's. But a platter of that is going to be much more expensive. Also, Famous Dave's cornbread is a little bit better, so. You know what? They do sell their cornbread. I forgot. They sell that mix in like grocery stores. So maybe they are famous. But I think it was definitely a more fake it till you make it. Mission's good? Yeah. Ooh, I should get Mission here soon. It's one of those places that I kind of forget about because I think of all the regular stuff and I'm like, I don't feel like anything. Why don't I feel like anything? You eat McDonald's? Of course. I'm not proud of it, but of course. It's like the perfect convenience food, especially nuggets and fries. Like, what do we get Luke? I don't know. We'll get him some nuggies and fries. And then you get like a 20-piece through the app. You get a 20-piece through the app for like $6 or $7 right now with like 2 medium fries. There you go. But they're too expensive now. Like all their regular shit is like way too expensive for what it is. Brisket. Yes, yeah, brisket's the best. Brisket's got to be the thing that is carrying that place. Because like pulled pork is okay, pulled chicken is okay, like ribs are great, but like we usually go in and we get a brisket because ribs are always like way more expensive, I think. Famous Dave's is in Pennsylvania and Maryland. Well, look at what I know. Here I thought they're just a little Michigan thing. MacDo. Ta-da. Oh, that shit looks good. $42 for 2 McChickens. Yeah, no kidding. McDonald's. Yeah, we don't actually like McDonald's. We just go there. Like, what else are you supposed to get? What other, like, child-friendly convenience food? Like, so he's like 2.5. So, like, what else am I supposed to get? Can't get him tacos. Tacos are too messy, and they just fall apart and whatever. Burger King is just, like, Burger King is, like, really bad now. I'm not a fan. I mean, it already was, like, not great, but we used to get it sometimes, and we just haven't gotten it in a while. Burger King has, like, the Burger King taste. I'm just not a huge fan of whatever Burger King has going on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yee, got it. There's not enough Chick-fil-A's here. We have like 2 or 3 Chick-fil-A's now. And like they're all really scattered apart and they have lines for days. So I will definitely DoorDash Chick-fil-A and I'll have them sit in that line. That's worth the extra $30 they're going to charge me for that. Are you the chef at home? No. No. My wife just like whipped up like Carrabba's level pasta yesterday. It was just like, I just felt like making it. And then it was super good. For those of you that like Carrabba's. I'm trying to remember what it was. Jollibee? Oh, dude, I wish. Spaghetti. Okay, so here's the like toughest decision. So when you go to the Philippines, Jollibee is like, yes, I want to go to Jollibee, but McDo over in the Philippines has the same stuff and their chicken's better. So then you end up just going to McDo instead. They were supposed to be building one here too. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it got canceled. But we have a pretty large, like, Madison Heights, Sterling Heights. It's like pretty large Asian population over here. So there's a lot of like those types of grocery stores. So it made perfect sense. And they were going to build one in this area. And they just never did. So we don't know if plans got canceled or whatnot, but we were really excited, and now we're really sad. But they don't have any in the state. So you got to go to, like, Chicago or Canada. The closest one to us is, like, 5 hours away. Sweet. All right. So wipe things down, a little bit of touch up, and then she'll be all done. Yeah, it turned out really, really good. Once we get the white covers and stuff out of here, it'll definitely look a little darker too. Four? Wow. Not bad. Is it actually 4 o'clock right now, or is it 5? Okay. Can never be sure.
Yep, 4.
Okay. Yeah. Not bad. Hmm? Oh, shit. I forgot. Yeah, I'd swing over there. Tell them it's just for Detroit Tint Studio.
And obviously, are they paid for everything?
Yeah, they're all paid for. But yeah, if you can swing over there. I mean, at this point, you can, like, drop off the orders and stuff.
Yeah, so I'll just go pick up, pack my car, and then go to Metro, do the orders, or go to the post office, and then I'll just bring the tool up tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. When it's one where I'm at. Yes, we gotta mail his certificate too. I have his address. I just gotta bring it up. It's in It's in the messages, though.
Yeah, we've been busy.
If somebody refuses to pay the tint job after you tint it, what do? Yeah, I'd 100% remove it. Probably in an angrily fashion, too. Like, because, I mean, it's just like kind of the way things are done, but there's no reason why you couldn't take a payment up front. It's just generally with services, you don't see that, but there's no reason you couldn't. So if it was ever a problem, which it's never been, I would change my process for it. Leave all the glue on it? Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so this side looks good. Tear the defroster. You guys are getting pretty hostile now. I mean, I wouldn't like try and cause one any more problems than there already were, but situations like that would make you want to quit retail entirely. Where do you get the green roller chairs? So I found these off of Amazon, OEM Tools. I was kind of happy. They just happened to be green. I thought at this point, if anything, this plastic would like flex and crack, but it hasn't done that yet. We've used them for all the classes. So they're like $50 each. They're far better than the red top ones with the metal base on them. These have plastic bases on them that just like they're a little lighter, and you don't have to like tighten up stupid rusty caster wheels. So they've been really good. I think it's the best shop stool for the money. All right. Yeah, you're fine. You can open it. Yeah, those were like all I ever knew because they sold those red ones at like Harbor Freight. They had them at AutoZone and just locally. So that's generally what we would pick up. But yeah, they're not very good. The bases rust out, the casters start loosening up, the wheels are kind of like almost like hard clay-like wheels. Like they're really dumb. I don't like them at all. What's the weather? Nice. I don't know, it's probably like 70s right now. It was just cloudy 2 seconds ago, and now there's a little bit of sunshine. It's been very up and down, but it's been a little bit better lately. We have the best summer weather, though. Or at least just really nice summer weather overall. But you gotta suffer through a stupid winter to get there. Yeah, 2 seconds ago it was gloomy here too. But really hot weather kind of drives me a little crazy, but I mean, so does the really cold weather too, so Cali has the best weather. Yeah, I haven't been there for very long, so it's what we pay for. That ocean is cold out there, though. Oh my God. Why is it so cold? Yeah, the humidity sucks. We still have humidity here. So when I say we have the best summers, we probably don't have the best summers, but we have very nice ones, and we have lots of like parks and stuff, which is another way of saying like things are a little boring, but hey, at least we have nice weather. The weather's YCA is, yeah, for sure. I mean, they had the whole like tech movement out there too, but now that seems to be changing to Texas. Woo! Look at this thing. So I haven't I've tried to ignore, or I haven't really tried. I've just been focusing on like the work and just getting it done. But we're about to just close it up, get all the towels out of here, and then you can really appreciate what this thing looks like. Yeah, and you can leave the door open too. Whoa! Look at that. Dang. You hear birds? Yeah, there's finally life outside again. Patrick uploaded? Oh, good. What's today? Is today Tuesday? Oh. There's probably 4 o'clock. There's probably the Sun Distributing stream going on too right now, huh? I kept forgetting. I'd get to like 4 o'clock and I'd end the stream, and I totally forgot that they were doing a stream. Cool. Look at that. That thing looks sick. What'd you quote this? 5 with the windshield, 550. What's your opinion on opening up a shop close to another shop? I wouldn't do it. I'd be nice and not try and just go where they are, because it's going to make things confusing for everybody. There's some people that don't have any shame in doing that, but I don't think it's a healthy thing to do, because they're going to go to the tint shop, and some of their customers are going to come to you accidentally. Some of your customers are going to go to them accidentally. It just makes everything confusing. Space yourself out a little bit. You don't want to feel like you're over competing necessarily with somebody like right down the road. And they might do some shit that you don't like too. How many jobs did you do on the side? Oh, I mean, oh, dude, I was tinting like all day at other shops. Like my whole days was just tinting at shops. So we would generally do, just depending on how busy, like a day like today, I'd probably have 3 sets of front doors and like 4 cars and maybe a windshield thrown in there. That was like a busy regular day. And it was from like 9 a.m. to like 6 p.m. And it was just like go, go, go. I didn't have time for anything else other than like phone calls. It was just 100% focusing on the car and getting stuff done. Zero activity. Okay, so I'll leave this up for now. Let me just cash him out really quick and everything, make sure everything's cool. And then we'll be all good for this. 1 sec. Still live streaming, like the camera's on, but it's over there. But if you guys want to, I see you guys wanting to check it out. It turned out really nice.
Looks amazing, man.
Yeah. I love the color of this too.
Thank you so much.
It looks sweet.
It was hard to find one, but we made it happen.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh cool.
We got in North Canton, Ohio.
Okay.
But the way it worked out was crazy. Like I started looking for them.
Yeah.
And then like 2 days later, this popped up on the market.
Oh nice.
So. But yeah, you did an amazing job.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Good, man.
So in this lighting too, it's gonna like once we pull it outside, it'll sharpen up a little bit because this is really like soft overcast lighting, and also that streakiness that's part of the drying process. So we'll leave the windows up. I can throw some tape over the switches as a reminder, but we'll leave the windows out for about 3 days right now. And then everything should dry out pretty good. If you have any other issues, let me know.
Awesome. 26. I think it was a few months ago.
Oh, awesome, yeah.
Right here.
Bye. See ya.
That was beautiful, man. I can get you paid now, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, let me just just figure you guys could come back here and check it out since
Thank
it's all
you,
set. While I get this all.
I think the percentages are perfect. What do you think?
What's that?
50 with the 20, that's perfect.
I like it. It's my favorite shade combo. On that Model 3 out there, just to show, because I have to show people percentages, I have 35 on the front, 50 on the windshield, and 20 on the rear.
Okay.
But I prefer to drive this.
Always good getting that expert's opinion, too.
Yeah, the 50% on the windshield, like it, without seeing it, it would sound light, but it actually adds a good amount of shade without going too dark.
Yeah. Oh. I love the 20.
That's
I almost went 25. I don't know how big of a difference that would have looked like.
25.
Yeah, like the sides.
The next step up would be a 35.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay.
So-
yeah, 20 looks amazing.
Yeah. I wish they had a 30,
Yeah.
but they still, like, for whatever reason, like, some companies, they just don't have some of those, like, little in-between shades. So 20's gonna be, like, my most popular shade. It's what you see on trucks and SUVs. It's what you see on the back of, like, trucks and SUVs. It's by far the most popular shade choice. You get a good mix between, like, some privacy, cool looks, but not well.
You do 5% often, or?
I do it enough, but it's not my main shades. I get way more 20 and 35 now than even 5. But I can appreciate people that want to just go 5%. There's just, I just want to. So 40 comes right off the top, so then you're effective.
Okay.
You doing the card?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was this your last car for the day?
This would be it.
What are you doing?
There you go.
Couple cars a day?
Couple cards, yep. Yep, that way I can focus on everything. Yep. Especially if I'm doing streaming, time goes so quick.
Yeah, it's funny. We
Streaming.
were at work and we were watching you stream while we were working on it.
That's cool. Yeah, and especially for people that mention the live streams, it's like, oh, now I have to live stream. Because I really like when people actually see the channel.
Of course.
Alright. Do you want me to throw tape on the switches? Or you want me
Okay,
to just
yeah,
leave them?
just put a little piece. Maybe.
Sure.
I might forget.
That's yours. That's what we did on it. I'll throw some tape on the switches.
It's actually on top. You just click that. You see by the.
Here you go. Good. I actually don't know where they put them sometimes.
Just unlock the car. Dude, I'm still learning, man. I just got the thing like 2 days ago, so
Yeah.
still learning.
Oh, I can imagine. I'm sure they got a ton of fun little features in here. Get this backed out for you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so with the double clutch and everything, like everything just went smoothly. I know you had like the
Yes.
parking brake on,
Yeah.
so I didn't know if there was, I didn't think there was anything other than that. Just
No,
to
yeah,
make sure.
that's it, yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to mention this, I'm sure
Yep, I can see somebody doing that. My first car that I bought was a manual though, so
Okay.
I have a real appreciation for stuff like this, especially. Let me find your key. I know I said it somewhere. I do that thing where I put the key down and then I forget where it is.
It's always when you're looking for it.
Oh, I know. And I do that on myself. Pick up a key, set it down,
Yep.
immediately goes missing. And that's super awkward right now. Let me just make sure I didn't be that dumb and put it in a pocket. There it is. Yep. Put it on the box, and then I put a rag on top of it. Alrighty, I'll back this out for you guys. You all set to go? Let me get my coffee. Gotta love that. There's always something that's gonna go wrong. And that's, oh, I misplaced the key. That happens too fast. And I'm out of coffee. That's the other thing. I thought I had coffee. Gonna have to order, but I don't know about paying $30 for one roll. One roll of what? But film is heavy, so if you're ordering like a 100-foot roll, you usually could get about three rolls before shipping starts getting more expensive. But there's always like a minimum cost for shipping. What car are you tinting tomorrow? That's a good question. I don't know, but I will find out, because this is what I do for my schedule. So today was busy. Oh, I do remember. Ooh, hang on. Let me follow up. I hope it did. I have a Civic hatch, and I used to have a window here, and then for like it wasn't the most secure thing. And then one day it just decided to fall off, and then it was okay, and then it did it again, and then it shattered. So I lost my Civic hatch back window, so I have to rebuy another one because I have one coming in tomorrow. So I was like, I don't care. I need it tomorrow. So I'm buying a new one. I don't care. It'll be nice to have around, especially like classes and stuff. That kind of window is really good. What are you gonna eat right now? I don't know. I'm gonna go home, And then we're going to see what's at home or if I have to pick some food up or anything like that. It's actually not too late. When are you getting more clay bars? I don't know. They are still not here, though. Dang. Chick-fil-A sounds good. I'd appreciate Chick-fil-A. We have like a good, okay, so we don't have many Chick-fil-A's, and I can see, like, so I've seen some videos, and people can be pretty hard on Chick-fil-A. I think we just have really good Chick-fil-A's here because we don't have very many of them. They're really good over here. But we also don't have them around every corner, so. Yeah, don't wait there. So we have a more inconvenient one in a mall on the 3rd floor, and it is like the busiest place in the entire mall. But you get through the line pretty quickly because it's all the way out of your way. But the drive-thrus, fuck that. I don't know how people do that. Do you get the, yeah, so we do still have the plastic rolls for sale. Those are on 313tint.com. I don't get how people wait in line so long. I like them, but I don't like them that much. So I guess if you just catch them at a, I don't know, but it's especially bad around here because there's just not hardly, there's only a couple of them. So they're guaranteed to be super busy all the time. Ceramic or carbon for windshield, what's best? They're both good films. If your goal is to block out more heat, then it's going to be ceramic. If you don't really care, then you can save some money and get carbon. I have 3 major film options. I have Pro Classic, I have C2 carbon, and I have ceramic. And it's just like, what is your budget? So I know everybody wants the best, but, you know, it's just going to be more expensive. So with ceramic, you're going to block out, like there's a few different types of ceramic, but with ceramic, you're always going to block out the most amount of heat. With carbon, you're going to block out about half amount the heat. And then dyed, it's not going to block out much heat at all. And as far as that, everything else is going to be the same. They're all going to look good. They're all going to have lifetime warranties, depending on the grade of film that you're going with. But they're all going to have lifetime, here they're going to have lifetime warranties. And it's just a matter of like, what do you want? I posted on the Facebook page, Crazy Experience Guy offered, I posted on the Facebook page, Crazy Experience Guy offered extra $200 for me to do it now. And it was my last car of the day. Oh, nice. So like one of those, like I have to get it done now and I don't care how much it'll cost. I can appreciate that. That's cool. There are times that I would definitely do stuff like that. It's just like, I'm at the end of my day, but this dude really wants to get done now. And it's another car. I would do that for sure. I don't really do that much anymore, but yeah. How do you latch the doors on older G35s? Ooh, on the Infiniti G35s, there's a push button. So they're not all triggered the same, but they all have little triggers. So Mercedes will do this on some of theirs. Infiniti does it. The trick to the Infiniti one is you can actually loosen the screw. So there's a little push button. When you open the door, there's a little push button. So when that push, the window goes up. There's a little screw right underneath it. Undo that screw, and it'll loosen up the ground, and then that window will stay up. You don't have to put a clamp or anything on it. On Mercedes, if you get like an older Mercedes with frameless, there's a push button as well, but the 50 blade pack is the perfect size to wedge in between the latch and the button. And so there's like a little window tinter hack for that. Ceramic has blue hue to it. It just depends on the ceramic. Some have a light blue to them, but when you go darker, that's not necessarily the case. It just depends on the type of film that you go with. So in the 70%, it's very neutral. The 50% has a very slight blue to it. And then 35 and down are a lot more neutral. If anything, 35 is a little too warm in Pro Nano, but it entirely depends on what you go with. It's kind of like that might be more of a thing from like you hear about XR Plus, which I haven't seen it in person, but I hear that it definitely has blue. Then you have like Air 70, Air 80. There were like specific light windshield films that were generally blue. I don't know why that was the case, but you would see some of that. XR Plus 45 has blue. Makes sense. You're awesome. Thank you. I'm glad that went super well and they were really happy with it. But that's all for today. Yeah, I've got the Civic hatch tomorrow. I may stream it. Uh-oh. They just came back here. Maybe everything's not all sunshine and rainbows. Hang on one second. Everything all good? Okay, cool. Oh, good. Okay, good. Glad to hear it. You have a good one, okay? Oh my God. It makes me like freak out for half a second. Anytime like a customer takes off and then it was like a good 10 minutes, right? And then they come back and I'm like, uh-oh, I hope everything's okay. And yeah, they just wanted to drive around with it for a little bit. Like they just got it a couple days ago, so they're having fun with it. Just makes it crystal clear inside looking out. That's their claim. I think that's a little, I don't know. I think like, I wish films were just a lot more neutral, but it seems like everybody's got some sort of little tone to their film. Like, just make it neutral. I don't think a light blue is necessarily gonna like enhance your vision. If anything, it's like when you're 50% and above, you don't really notice any hue to it, especially outside. So if I pull down the roll, you'll see a little color difference there. But when you pull it outside, everything's so bright outside, you don't notice strong hues near as much. They're a lot more subtle. So unless they're really strong and the films are darker, that's where you really start noticing their colors. Factory privacy glass is generally a lot more neutral, sometimes a little bit on the green side, sometimes a little bit on like the tan side. So if anything, I would suggest like getting close to what people see regularly would be the smartest bet. Making a sharp contrast between that and an aftermarket film, I think is kind of goofy. Because when you go to tint front doors, if you have a color that leans really strongly in another direction, it's going to irritate more people than I think it's going to help. And you can try and explain it. Oh, well, it's better for vision. It's better for this. It's better for that. Whatever. I don't buy it. They just want tint. And they just want it to like look as close as they can to what's already on their vehicle. So the best you can do that, the happier I think they're going to be. Alrighty. Well, I'm going to say thank you to everybody for hanging out. Big shout out to Daniel Reyna for the super chat. I appreciate it, buddy. Sun Distributing might still be on. So let me see. It's very rarely that I'm streaming this late, and then I forget they are doing their tool talk right now. Hang on, my computer's freaking out. There we go. So I'm going to post that link if you guys want to see more tint live streaming. Sun Distributing, they are a really, really nice company. They do a tool talk every week. So if you have like business questions and stuff like that, you can always hang out there and ask them because they're still streaming, but I got to hop off here. I'll try to stream that or do something tomorrow. I don't know. I was thinking about this a lot earlier. I would really like a lot more casual streaming between, like, not always set up for a job, but I don't know quite what that looks like. So we might just go live more on TikTok. So I would highly suggest following on TikTok in case we do. But we also have the Facebook group where if you have other questions, general window tint questions and stuff like that, I like to try and answer stuff there. And there's a ton of other people. Like, that's where community discussions happen. So if you aren't in the Facebook group, join that too. And I guess I will see you guys maybe tomorrow. We'll find out. Bye.